Sometimes people misunderstand what it means to step back from the world. They look at you and say, why don't you join in? Why don't you socialize more? Are you antisocial? And in that moment, it's easy to feel like something is wrong with you. But what if I told you that it's not about being antisocial at all? What if it's about something far deeper, far more beautiful? It's about protection. It's about Allah safeguarding your peace. You see, life can be loud. It can be messy. People can bring with them stress, negativity, and unnecessary drama. Not everyone around you is meant to understand your journey, and not every environment is meant to nurture your heart. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, often protects the believers by giving them a space to breathe, a space to reflect, and a space to heal. That space might look like solitude to others, but for you, it is a shield of tranquility. When you feel the urge to withdraw, don't see it as a flaw. See it as a gift of peace that Allah has placed in your life. It's a time to strengthen your connection with Him, to be honest with yourself, and to evaluate what truly matters. In silence, in moments away from chaos, you start to hear your own heart. You start to see your priorities more clearly. You start to understand that peace is not the absence of people, but the presence of Allah in your heart. Sometimes society pressures us to be constantly available, constantly engaged, constantly seeking validation. But Allah reminds you that your value is not measured by likes, approvals, or invitations. Your value is in your faith, your sincerity, and your inner peace. He encourages you to step away from anything that disturbs that peace, because protecting your soul is a higher priority than pleasing the world. Many people fear being alone because they confuse it with loneliness. But being alone with Allah is never loneliness. It is the most profound companionship. When you fill your heart with remembrance of Him, your heart finds rest even if the world is noisy around you. And when you protect your peace, you are able to return to the world with clarity, wisdom, and kindness. You are able to choose your interactions wisely rather than being consumed by every passing emotion or drama. So do not let anyone make you feel guilty for valuing your inner calm. Do not let society convince you that constant engagement is a measure of your worth. The very act of protecting your peace, of guarding your heart, is an act of obedience to Allah. And sometimes that means saying no to some invitations, stepping back from certain relationships, and allowing yourself the freedom to breathe. Remember, Allah is with those who honor their peace. He is with those who choose to nurture their hearts rather than feed their anxieties. He is with those who understand that true strength comes not from being everywhere, but from being grounded, centered, and connected to the one who knows your soul better than anyone else. And when you embrace this reality, you will notice a beautiful shift. You will notice that your life becomes simpler, your heart becomes lighter, and your days feel more meaningful. You're not antisocial. You're not missing out. You are being protected. Your silence, your boundaries, your selectivity in relationships, they are not flaws. They are divine gifts meant to preserve your peace and strengthen your connection with Allah. Carry this understanding in your heart. And whenever someone questions your choices, smile softly and remember, the peace you protect today is the strength you carry tomorrow. And this peace, this serenity, this contentment is a treasure that only grows when it is guarded wisely. Sometimes people look at you and think they understand you, but they don't. They say things like, why don't you hang out more? Why don't you talk to people? Are you antisocial? And it can hurt because you know your heart isn't closed. You aren't trying to distance yourself out of pride or arrogance. You're simply trying to protect something far more precious, your peace. Many of us forget that peace is a gift, a treasure, something that cannot be measured by social media likes, invitations, or being constantly busy. It is an internal sanctuary that Allah has placed in your heart. And sometimes He asks you to guard it by stepping back, by being selective, and by protecting yourself from things that can disturb your soul. Life has a way of being loud. It's full of demands, responsibilities, conflicts, and distractions. Every day, people come into our lives with expectations, opinions, and sometimes judgments. Not every environment is meant to nurture your spirit, and not every person is meant to understand your journey. In fact, some environments and relationships, no matter how well-intentioned, can drain you of your energy, your focus, and your joy. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, often protects those who are mindful of their faith and their hearts by giving them space, by letting them step away from certain situations, and by guiding them to places where their soul can breathe. What others may see as antisocial behavior is often a form of divine protection. When you choose to step back from the noise, don't see it as a weakness, see it as a blessing. This time away from chaos allows you to reconnect with yourself and with Allah. It gives you clarity in your decisions and calmness in your emotions. In moments of solitude, you can reflect on your life, evaluate your relationships, and understand your priorities. You begin to realize that not everyone's company is beneficial, and that sometimes the most loving act is to say no to interactions that disturb your heart. The peace you protect in these moments is a shield, a form of worship, and a way of honoring the blessings that Allah has given you. Society often pressures us to be everywhere, to constantly engage and to seek approval from others. People are quick to judge, to label, or to question. But your worth is not determined by how often you are seen or how many invitations you accept. Your value is found in your intentions, your sincerity, and your connection with Allah. When you learn to prioritize your peace over people's approval, you are not rejecting the world. You are choosing the path of wisdom, patience, and spiritual strength. Your boundaries are not a weakness. They are a reflection of understanding your limits and honoring your soul. Many people fear being alone because they confuse it with loneliness. But being alone with Allah is the greatest companionship. When you fill your heart with His remembrance, your heart finds rest, even if the world around you is chaotic. Solitude becomes a time of growth, reflection, and spiritual nourishment. In that quiet space, you learn to trust Allah's timing, to seek His guidance, and to appreciate His mercy. You start to understand that peace is not the absence of people, but the presence of Allah in your heart. It is natural for others to question your choices, to misunderstand your need for space, or to label your behavior. But true wisdom comes when you realize that protecting your peace is more important than pleasing the world. By stepping back, you are able to engage with the world from a place of strength and clarity rather than from stress or obligation. You are able to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. You are able to build relationships that truly matter instead of spreading yourself thin for fleeting social validation. Do not feel guilty for valuing your inner calm. Do not let anyone convince you that being busy, loud, or overly social is a measure of your success or happiness. The act of preserving your peace is a form of obedience to Allah. It is an act of gratitude for the gift of life, for the guidance you have received, and for the heart that beats with sincerity and faith. Choosing your interactions carefully, stepping away when necessary, and protecting your heart, not flaws. They are signs of maturity, spiritual insight, and deep faith. When you embrace this reality, you will notice the transformation in your life. Your heart will feel lighter, your thoughts clearer, and your days more meaningful. You will understand that peace is not something you stumble upon, it is something you cultivate and protect. You're not antisocial, you're not missing out. You are being guarded by Allah, who sees the challenges that lie ahead, who knows the people who may harm your spirit, and who lovingly guides you to what is best for you. So whenever someone questions your choices, whenever someone misunderstands your need for space, smile softly and remember that the serenity you protect today is the strength you carry tomorrow. Your silence, your boundaries, and your moments of solitude are not signs of weakness. They are gifts, divine gifts, meant to nurture your heart, strengthen your faith, and deepen your relationship with Allah. Protect your peace, cherish it, and know that it is a treasure that will continue to grow when honored with wisdom and patience. Remember always, you are not antisocial. You are not avoiding the world. You are being protected, And in this protection lies your true strength, your clarity, and your peace. Life can be overwhelming at times. The world around us moves quickly. People demand our attention. And the noise can feel endless. In the midst of this, there are moments when you may feel the need to step back, to distance yourself from certain environments and to protect your heart. And yet society often misunderstands this. They see your calmness, your quietness, or your selective interactions and immediately label it as antisocial, cold, or distant. But the truth is far from that. You are not antisocial. You are simply honoring something far more valuable, your peace. You are allowing Allah to protect what He has placed within you. And that is a gift that many fail to recognize. People often confuse being alone with loneliness, but they are not the same. Loneliness is a void. It is emptiness. Being alone with Allah, however, is the most meaningful companionship one can ever experience. In those quiet moments, when the world is not pulling you in every direction, you have the opportunity to hear your own heart, to understand your own needs, and to nurture the connection between you and your Creator. This is a sacred time. It is a time for reflection, for gratitude, and for seeking guidance. It is a time to recharge your soul so that you can return to the world with clarity, strength, and wisdom. Sometimes people will question your choices. They might ask, why don't you join more gatherings? Or why don't you always say yes? But you must remember that your value is not measured by how busy you are or how many people approve of your decision. True value lies in sincerity, in faith, and in the calmness of your heart. Allah has placed you in certain circumstances, and He knows your heart better than anyone else. He knows who is beneficial for you, who may bring harm, and what situations will disturb your peace. Trust in Him and understand that stepping back is often an act of wisdom and protection rather than weakness or avoidance. When you allow yourself to be selective about your company and your interaction, you are not rejecting the world, you are choosing what is best for your soul. Life is full of people with different intentions, and not everyone is meant to be a part of your journey. Some relationships, even those that seem harmless, can drain your energy, bring negativity, or distract you from your goals and your connection with Allah. By choosing your interactions wisely, by setting boundaries, and by valuing your peace, you are ensuring that your heart remains strong and your mind remains focused. This is not antisocial behavior, it is spiritual insight, self-respect, and divine guidance at work. In moments of solitude, you also gain clarity. You start to see what truly matters in life and what is fleeting. You begin to prioritize your values, your goals, and your personal growth. This clarity allows you to make better decisions, to act with wisdom, and to avoid being swept away by societal pressures or fleeting emotions. When you are grounded in your faith and connected to Allah, you are better equipped to navigate life's challenges. Your calmness becomes a source of strength, not only for yourself, but also for those around you. People who are centered, thoughtful, and peaceful are often the ones who make the most meaningful impact in their communities. It is also important to understand that protecting your peace is an act of worship. When you guard your heart, avoid unnecessary conflicts, and seek calm over chaos, you are honoring the gift that Allah has placed within you. You are choosing to nurture what is precious, instead of allowing it to be disturbed by the noise of the world. This choice requires courage, patience, and trust in Allah. It requires the understanding that your well-being, your spiritual health, and your inner peace are far more important than constantly seeking approval or trying to meet the expectations of everyone around you. As you continue on this path, you will notice the transformation in your life. Your days will feel lighter, your mind clearer, and your heart more content. You will realize that peace is not something you find outside. It is something you cultivate within. You will understand that silence, solitude, and selectivity are not signs of weakness. They are signs of strength, faith, and divine protection. You are not antisocial. You are being protected. You are being guided toward what is best for you. And this protection is one of the greatest blessings you can receive. So when others question your choices, when they misunderstand your need for space, remember that the peace you protect today is the strength you will carry tomorrow. Your quiet moments, your thoughtful boundaries, and your selective company are not flaws, they are treasures. They are gifts from Allah, meant to safeguard your heart, nurture your soul, and deepen your connection with Him. Trust in this process, embrace your calmness, and know that in protecting your peace, you are fulfilling a beautiful purpose. The world may not always understand, but you do. Allah understands. And that is all that truly matters. There is a common misunderstanding in the world today. When people see someone who is careful about their energy, someone who chooses silence over unnecessary arguments, or someone who prefers to protect their own peace, they are quick to label them. Why don't you join in? Why are you so quiet? Are you antisocial? And in hearing these words, it's easy to feel a little misunderstood. But the truth is, you are not antisocial. You are simply protecting something far more valuable, your heart, your tranquility, and your connection with Allah. Life can be loud and chaotic. There are voices everywhere telling you what you should do, who you should be friends with, and what you should care about. Not everyone around you has your best interests at heart. Not every environment is meant to nurture your soul. And not every relationship is meant to stay. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, often protects you by allowing you to step back, by giving you space to breathe, and by guiding you toward moments of reflection and solitude. What the world may call antisocial behavior is in reality divine protection. It is a gift of time, clarity, and peace. When you retreat from unnecessary noise, it is not a weakness, it is strength. Strength to care for your heart before you allow the world to shape it. Strength to choose your company wisely, to invest your energy in relationships that are meaningful, and to avoid negativity that can disturb your inner calm. Allah often protects those He loves by letting them distance themselves from what may harm their faith, their peace, or their purpose. It is in these moments of stepping back that you begin to truly understand yourself and your priorities. People often fear being alone, believing that solitude equals loneliness. But this is a misunderstanding. Being alone with Allah is never loneliness. It is the most profound companionship. It is in these quiet moments that your heart can truly speak, that your thoughts become clearer, and that your soul begins to heal from the burdens that life has placed upon it. You start to see what truly matters and what does not. You begin to understand that not all battles need to be fought, not all opinions need to be considered, and not every situation demands your energy. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It is an act of wisdom, a reflection of understanding, and a way to honor the life and soul Allah has entrusted to you. In a world that constantly pressures you to say yes, to participate, and to seek approval, stepping back requires courage. It requires faith. Because society often misunderstands what you are doing. They see your quietness and call it weakness. They see your boundaries and call it distance. But in truth, you are aligning your actions with the guidance of Allah. You are valuing your well-being over the fleeting judgments of people. You are guarding your heart. And by doing so, you are building resilience, clarity, and strength. It is also important to recognize that protecting your peace does not mean withdrawing from all responsibilities or avoiding the world entirely. It means choosing your battles wisely, prioritizing your relationships carefully, and nurturing your soul first, so that when you do engage with the world, it is from a place of balance and wisdom. Peace is cultivated, not stumbled upon. Silence is intentional, not passive. And boundaries are not walls to isolate yourself, but shields to protect your heart from harm. As you continue to honor this understanding, you will notice subtle changes in your life. You will feel lighter, calmer, and more centered. You will discover that the world is less overwhelming when your heart is at rest. You will approach people and situations with more clarity, responding thoughtfully rather than reacting hastily. The space you create for yourself becomes a sanctuary, a place where your faith can grow, your mind can think clearly, and your heart can feel content. Never let anyone make you feel guilty for prioritizing your peace. The very act of stepping back, of choosing solitude over chaos, is an act of worship. It is a reflection of trust in Allah, a recognition of your own needs, and an acknowledgement that your spiritual and emotional well-being matter. Your calmness, your selective company, and your quiet strength are not flaws, they are blessings. They are signs that Allah is protecting you, guiding you, and helping you grow in ways that are not always visible to the world. So the next time someone questions your choices, the next time they misunderstand your need for space, smile quietly and remember this: you are not antisocial, you are being protected. You are being guided. You are being given the opportunity to nurture your peace and to strengthen your heart. And in this protection lies your true strength, your clarity, and your connection to the one who knows your heart better than anyone else. There are times in life when you feel the need to protect your heart. You may feel the urge to step back from certain people, certain conversations, or even certain situations. And yet, society often misunderstands this. People see your quietness and label it as being antisocial. They see your boundaries and call it distance. They see your desire for peace and think you are avoiding life. But the reality is far from that. You are not antisocial. You are simply being wise. And more importantly, you are allowing Allah to protect your peace. The world can be overwhelming. It is full of noise, conflict, and pressures. People around us often carry their own frustrations, insecurities, and burdens, and sometimes unknowingly they transmit that into our lives. Not every environment is meant to nurture your heart, and not every person is meant to be close to you. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, often creates space around His servants so that they can breathe, reflect, and find calmness in the midst of life's chaos. What the world may perceive as antisocial behavior is actually divine protection. It is a shield that safeguards your heart, your faith, and your inner peace. Choosing solitude is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength. It is a conscious decision to protect your energy, to invest your time wisely, and to avoid unnecessary negativity. In these moments of stepping back, you have the chance to reconnect with yourself and with Allah. You can reflect on your life, evaluate your priorities, and gain clarity on your goals. You can hear your own heart and understand what truly matters. Solitude allows you to recharge, to heal, and to prepare yourself to return to the world with a calm and focused mind. Many people fear being alone, assuming that solitude is loneliness. But being alone with Allah is never loneliness. It is companionship in its purest form. It is the opportunity to fill your heart with remembrance, gratitude, and reflection. In these quiet moments, you gain perspective and you begin to see life through a lens of clarity and wisdom. You realize that your value is not determined by how many people approve of you, how many invitations you accept, or how busy your schedule is. True value lies in your faith, your sincerity, and the peace that resides in your heart. Stepping back also allows you to set boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to isolate yourself. They are shields to protect your well-being. By choosing your company carefully, by prioritizing relationships that bring positivity, and by avoiding negativity that disturbs your soul, you are practicing a form of self-respect. You are honoring the life that Allah has entrusted to you. Not everyone will understand this, and some may even criticize your choices, but it is essential to remember that protecting your peace is far more important than pleasing the world. The world often pushes you to constantly engage, to always be available, and to seek validation from others. But Allah reminds you that your worth is not measured by social approval. Your worth is measured by your sincerity, your intentions, and the connection you maintain with Him. By guarding your heart and being selective in your interactions, you are not rejecting the world. You are aligning yourself with Allah's wisdom. You are building resilience, mental clarity, and spiritual strength. It is also important to recognize that protecting your peace is an act of worship. By avoiding unnecessary conflicts, by stepping back from harmful influences, and by nurturing your inner calm, you are honoring the gifts that Allah has placed within you. You are choosing to prioritize your spiritual and emotional well-being over societal expectations. This requires patience, courage, and trust in Allah's plan. You are learning that true strength is not in constant engagement, but in thoughtful, intentional living. As you continue to embrace this understanding, you will notice changes in your life. Your mind will feel clearer, your heart lighter, and your days more meaningful. You will realize that peace is not something you find outside. It is something you cultivate within. Silence, solitude, and careful boundaries are not flaws. They are signs of wisdom, strength, and divine protection. You are not antisocial. You are being protected. You are being guided toward the situations, people, and experiences that are beneficial for your soul. When others question your choices, when they misunderstand your desire for calm, smile softly and remember that the peace you protect today is the strength you will carry tomorrow. Your quietness, your careful. Boundaries and your selectivity are not weaknesses, they are treasures. They are blessings from Allah meant to nurture your heart, strengthen your faith, and allow your life to flourish in a meaningful way. By valuing your peace, you are fulfilling a purpose that many do not understand, but that Allah deeply honors. You are not antisocial. You are not avoiding life. You are being protected, guided, and strengthened. And in this protection lies clarity, resilience, and a heart that is ready for the blessings Allah has prepared for you. Sometimes in life we feel misunderstood. People look at us and see someone who avoids certain situations, someone who steps back from chaos, or someone who chooses quiet over constant engagement. They may call you antisocial, distant, or reserved. They may even question your choices, thinking that peace is something to compromise. But the reality is far more profound than their assumptions. You are not antisocial. You are protecting your peace. And Allah is guiding you toward what is best for your heart, your mind, and your soul. The world is full of noise, opinions, and pressures. Every day, people carry their own anxieties, conflicts, and frustrations, often unconsciously transferring them to those around them. Not every environment is meant to nurture your spirit, and not every person is meant to be part of your journey. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, sometimes asks you to step back, to create space for yourself, and to guard your heart from what may disturb it. What may seem like withdrawal is, in truth, a form of divine protection. Allah is preserving your energy, your clarity, and your peace for what truly matters in your life. Choosing solitude does not mean weakness, it is a sign of strength. It takes courage to step back in a world that constantly demands attention and engagement. It takes wisdom to understand that your energy is finite, and that not every situation, conversation, or relationship deserves your time. In these moments of stillness, you reconnect with yourself and with Allah. You are able to reflect on your life, evaluate your priorities, and gain clarity on your goals. Solitude gives you the opportunity to listen to your heart, to heal from past burdens, and to prepare yourself to engage with the world with wisdom and patience. Many people fear being alone because they equate it with loneliness. But being alone with Allah is never loneliness. It is the most profound companionship. In these quiet moments, your heart becomes alive with gratitude, your thoughts become clear, and your soul begins to heal. You start to see life with clarity. You understand that your value is not determined by how many people approve of you or how busy your social calendar is. Your true value lies in your connection with Allah, in your sincerity, and in the peace that resides in your heart. When you step back from unnecessary noise, you are also setting boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are shields to protect your heart. They allow you to prioritize relationships that bring positivity, kindness, and understanding, while avoiding those that drain you or disturb your inner calm. Boundaries are an act of self-respect, a reflection of maturity, and a form of obedience to Allah. Not everyone will understand your choices, and some may criticize your need for space, but protecting your peace is far more important than pleasing the world. Society often pressures you to constantly engage, to always say yes, and to seek validation. People assume that being available all the time is a measure of your worth. But Allah reminds you that your worth is not determined by others. It is determined by your intentions, your sincerity, and the peace in your heart. By prioritizing your own well-being and carefully selecting your interactions. You are not rejecting the worldview, are aligning yourself with divine wisdom. You are building resilience, focus, and strength. You are preparing your heart to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Protecting your peace is also an act of worship. By choosing calm over chaos, by stepping back from unnecessary conflicts, and by valuing your inner tranquility, you are honoring the life and heart Allah has entrusted to you. This requires patience, courage, and trust in Allah's plan. It is an acknowledgement that your spiritual and emotional well-being matter, and that the protection of your heart is not only justified, it is sacred. True strength is not measured by constant activity or social approval. It is measured by the ability to guard your heart, maintain your serenity, and remain steadfast in your faith. As you embrace this understanding, you will begin to notice changes in your life. Your mind will feel lighter, your heart calmer, and your days more purposeful. You will understand that peace is cultivated within, not found outside. Silence, solitude, and boundaries are not signs of weakness. They are signs of wisdom, faith, and divine guidance. You are not antisocial. You are protected. You are guided toward what is best for your spiritual, emotional, and mental well-being. The very act of preserving your peace is a blessing, a gift from Allah, and a reflection of His care for you. Whenever someone questions your choices, when they misunderstand your need for space, or call you distant, smile quietly and remember this: the peace you protect today is the strength you will carry tomorrow. Your quietness, your careful boundaries, and your moments of reflection are not flaws, they are treasures. They are blessings meant to nurture your heart, deepen your connection with Allah, and allow your life to flourish in a meaningful way. By prioritizing your peace, you are fulfilling a purpose that many do not understand, but that Allah honors immensely. You are not antisocial. You are not avoiding life. You are being protected. You are being guided. And in this protection lies clarity, strength, and a heart that is ready to embrace the blessings Allah has in store for you.